dongle, my dongle, where have you gone? You guys on the computer. We have to borrow Brother Ashmore's for the moment. Sorry folks, I can't find my little connector piece called the dongle. So give me just a minute. Hope this one works. Backup dongle. On.
Not seeing us yet on Facebook.
Huh.
But it could just be a Facebook issue. YouTube.
Sometimes you need to go over here to caster. Yeah, it's not doing it right now. I just need to click it off.
We are live on YouTube.
Yeah. Great. I'm gonna click that on again. Sometimes it gets weird.
Yeah. Always go for the tried and true. Turn it off and on again.
Yeah. But that camera's not working here. Just a minute. We're gonna start in just a minute. I'm trying to find my dongle.
These whose books are these?
I think that's mostly Father Ashmore's stash.
Okay. It's a good stash there. Good morning, everybody. In just a moment.
very strange. I don't know where I put that.
Yeah, we definitely had it yesterday, right?
We did. I haven't been to that many places. Do the backup here. No, we're using that as the main camera
Oh.
because I can't get the other. This camera's
Oh,
not
I
working.
see. I see.
But maybe I'll try again here. Yeah, it's not loving that.
Good thing I've walked very far. It's not in the bag or anything, is it?
I don't think so. I think I did do something with it, but I don't know what I
Yeah.
done with it. I'm going the wrong way. All right, welcome everybody. Let me go over here. All right, hello everybody. Sorry we're getting start a little bit late, and I'm not quite there.
There. Should do.
Yeah, almost there. Okay, welcome everybody. We are crooked.
We are Dutch Angle. It's
Is that what it's called?
our tour cinema.
There we go. Yeah.
Cinema.
So, yeah, that'll have to do for today. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here today. Sorry that we're running a little bit late, and I am missing a piece. And so I had to use a backup piece today, and it did not like the camera. So we had to go back to the old camera here today. So yeah, we're looking at this camera today, so don't get confused. So welcome, everybody. So it's a weird day today. We don't have the right camera, and we have a different co-host over here.
Hello.
So here he is. There is Father Ashmore is taking his Tuesday off, which I said please do. So I'm trying to encourage him. You know, as John will learn if he has not. I got to look not at this camera. As John will learn if he has not learned. There's my dongle.
All right.
I found it. That's right, because I was watching a DVD yesterday, or I was watching my computer. Ha ha. All right, cool. So I found it. As John will know, that because he's still new here, as John will probably know, I'm not that easy to live with. So giving Father Ashmore space to go out and be elsewhere, I think is important for me as pastor to say, please, get a break from your pastor. So I'm really trying to encourage him to take his Tuesdays. He's usually pretty good about taking those Tuesdays, and I'm just trying to give him that extra permission to make sure that he can do it. I found the dongle. So last night I was watching some of the Star Trek Discovery on the CBS All Access. I got that to watch the Picard series because as I think I've mentioned before on the show, I like Star Trek moderately, but then I forgot to cancel it, and so then I said, well, what am I going to do with it now? And so it expires, I think,
You said the
tomorrow.
third.
Yeah, tomorrow, I think. So
tomorrow.
I thought I'd get a little bit of more Discovery watching in. So I took the dongle, connected to the big TV, so I could watch on the TV last night, and then that's where I put it. Because I needed that to connect to the computer so I could watch that. So let me see if I can now pull up the other camera, which I should be able to do. Let's see if this works now. I have two dongles going at the same
Alright.
time. Look at that cool angle. That's cool. So we'll get the good camera going. We'll move the Ash cam or the John cam over here, just in case we need it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Good job. All right, so now we will go back to our real camera. There we go. That's the shot that you need. That's the shot that you deserve here on the Fireside Chat. So welcome. Hope you're doing well. And John is here with us. And let me quickly say, now that we got that camera work figured out, I will go over to the other cam, to the O-camera.
I'm gonna brighten this up a bit. As
Great.
well.
While you're doing that, I will say hello there to Rachel, hello there to Rosalie, and hello there to Laura. And I hear that you are watching this show. You had the opportunity to go out to the swings, but you instead came to watch us. That's awesome. So thanks for tuning in for today. But I hope you get plenty of swing time today and enjoy that time out there. So Rosalie, if you're wondering where Father Ashmore is, I know that you got concerned before. He's not here today. So yeah. It's just John here. There he is over there. Say hi, John.
Hello. Hi, John.
Very good. Very good. So thanks for tuning in, and hello there, Dryling girls as well. So we'll go back to the real good camera. So back we go. So this banner does say with Father Kenton, Father Ashmore, and Seminarian John Donart, but as we know, Father Ashmore is not here, so don't be confused. You are soap bubble painting. I don't know what a soap bubble painting is, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too light, so we can darken that up just a bit. So soap bubble painting. Could you please describe more what soap bubble painting means? That would be great. So John, how was your day? What did you do yesterday besides our talk and we had our rosary at noon, and he's just experiencing weird parish life here in the pandemic world.
Yeah, I went for a bit of a drive yesterday. I went to Shawnee Mission Park for a little bit. I think it's the most people I've ever seen there. So
Really?
yeah, just
packed.
Yeah. People are parked everywhere. So, but
Well, there's nowhere else to go, I guess.
no.
I mean, movie theaters are closed. Pools are closed. How do you get out of the house? And
Exactly.
we've been encouraged to go to parks,
Yes. Yeah.
And that is a big park, so probably lots of people are thinking,
Yeah.
I'll have plenty of room to spread out. But
Yeah, lots of people on kayaks,
Oh.
socially distanced
very good.
as well. So it looks, yeah.
Kayaks are kind of fun.
Mhm.
We should get a kayak.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like one. So we'll see. We'll see.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about the kayak. They are fun, but I don't know where I put that thing.
Yeah,
There's
that is an issue.
a trail around. So good.
Hmm.
And then you got together with some priest friends.
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. So I went with Father Ashmore. We went over to Cure of ours, where Father Hagany is, and Father Zelensky also joined us. So
Good.
mhm.
Good.
Yeah, just had some food.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. Very good. So yeah, we're trying to find those ways to be still connecting with one another while distant. This is the week that we are supposed to be at the our priest retreat is supposed to be this week. We have a retreat every week at an Atchison and at the Benedictine College. It's always a wonderful time to spend with the brother priests and to spend some time just learning, praying together. And so unfortunately, of course, that's canceled this year, so we don't get to do that. But that's where we're supposed to be. But there is some free time as well, and I often get together with some of the priests and play some games, and so a little bit in that spirit, since Mondays is kind of the day that I take off. I got together virtually with a couple of gaming friends of mine. We played a game yesterday. That was fun.
Mhm.
And I did some more reading, and I watched a little bit of Star Trek Discovery, so it was good.
Yeah,
Did some cleaning. I
nice.
cleaned out my car, so now I can give you
Good.
rides to the
Oh,
church
great.
because it was a disaster. So just
Great.
kind of kept building up and building up. That's what tends to happen in
Yes.
my car. So
Yeah.
just keep throwing
Happens
things
for
over on the
everybody,
passenger
I
side.
think.
So, Joanne asked a question. Do you go by? Did you go by the name Jack in first
Yes, yes, I'm the same person.
grade?
so,
Oh, very
mhm.
good. So,
Mhm.
how do you know Joanne, or how does Joanne know you?
So the last name Eddie Shekels was in my grade at Sacred Heart. So,
Okay. Eddie.
yeah, Eddie Shekels, but
Okay.
Yeah, not sure.
And when did you change to John?
Actually, just basically last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really solidly last summer is when I started going by John.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what inspired that change, John?
Really, I just kind of got sick of the name Jack. So my real name is John Wesley Donart, but that's my dad's name as well. And so Jack is a common...
Are you a junior or a second?
Yeah, I'm a junior. I'm second. So Jack is a common shortening nickname for John, so it would just be easier for me to go by Jack. So, but kind of got over that at some point.
Okay, very good. Yes, when I was, I mentioned I think in the show before, my real name is Kenneth. So I'm named after my grandparents, Kenneth O'Connor and Leonard Eichhorn. And so Kenneth O'Connor, he was also L, but he wasn't Leonard. So the name wasn't exactly passed off on, but I don't remember what his... Mom, I see that you're watching. Maybe you can remind me what is Leroy? I don't remember what it is, but it wasn't Kenneth Leonard. It was Kenneth L, though. So it was a little bit... Because I always signed my name, Kenneth L. O'Connor. It was a little bit shocking when I went to the funeral back in college and saw service for Kenneth L. O'Connor. I'm like, oh, it's
hopefully not yet.
Yeah. But then I started going by Kent in, I think, 8th grade. I just kind of made that cut. And I said, I want to be Kent now. So.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. Another interesting thing about my name, so John Wesley. John Wesley is the founder of the Methodist movement.
That's right, yes.
But I'm not named after him as far as I know. I've asked my dad a few times, and every once in a while I'll get like a different answer, but the most consistent answer is that I'm named after, or he's named after his grandpa's, so I'm named after him. So, not named after the Methodist, the founder of the Methodist movement. But it was kind of funny when I was visiting Kenrick, when I was looking at seminaries. One of the seminarians there, he asked me, "So are you named after John the Baptist or John the Evangelist?" And I said, "Well, I'm actually named after John Wesley."
I forgot to turn the music down. Sorry, I got distracted by the dongle. But you actually named after John Wesley.
Yes.
Very good. Is your yes, your dad is John as well. John Wesley. But you don't know where that name Wesley came from or anything?
I think Wesley was the name of one of his grandpas, but yeah, that was just kind of like the naming convention in his family. Okay. So my grandpa was named after his grandpas, I think, as well. So he was Charles Roy, and then.
Very good. My mom typed in that was Leroy, so that's what I was thinking it was. And then Eddie is now Edward. So
Edward, okay,
Edward, so.
Great. So he shares similar sentiments, I see.
That's right. Time to kind of change names. That's interesting. So probably everyone. So you went to St. James, right?
Yeah.
So everybody would know you by Jack there.
Yeah, most everybody. So like Mrs. Niermeyer and all those people, they'll still call me Jack, which is completely all right. But just it was just time for me to kind of lose Jack, I guess. But
well, so I think then I must, that rings a bell. Then maybe I did meet you at camp, and you were Jack then.
Possibly, yeah. So possibly.
Very good, because you were at camp as a camper and then as a counselor.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I worked 2 summers.
2 summers, and what did you do at the?
Yeah, so working, I was mostly on ropes crew, so helping people go through the high ropes course and the rock wall and the power pole if you guys have been down to camp. So
which years did you do that?
2016 and 2017.
Okay. Very good. And are they just doing day camps then at Tekakwitha?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's day camps, and then the extreme camp, they're going to let people like bring their own tents, sleep in their own tents outside. And I think it's going to be 3 days maybe. But yeah.
What a strange summer that's going to be.
Yeah, so. But it's great that they're still able to get people down to camp, because there's lots of graces that come out of camp.
Oh, so. Absolutely. I love going to our Camp Tekakwitha each summer and spending time there. I don't get down there as much as I as I used to. They have a sign up that comes out for the priests to sign up for masses and for confessions, and I seem to have used to get my earlier access or something,
Oh,
and
really?
then I grab as many as I could, but I don't have as early access as I used to for whatever reason. But I mean, I'm getting older, and it's good for these younger pups to have those connections with the campers too. So I try to acknowledge that as well. So I kind of let those things go. But I always love going down there. And what was I going to say on that? And also, yeah, the schedule, it always seems like it's on. It doesn't coordinate as well with the schedule as it used to as well. Because it's like on a Tuesday they have masses, I think, and I always have the Tuesday evening mass. And
Right.
can't get out, or Thursday I always have, or Thursday evening mass. Now we have Thursday evening confessions, and so it's just it's tough to get down there.
Yeah.
But so what other questions might you have for John over here? It's a great opportunity. What would you like to talk about Father Ashmore while he's not here? Nobody has access, of course, to the video, so be careful what you say. So again, Father Ashmore is not here today. It's a Tuesday, so try to give him permission to please take time to get away from your pastor. Poor guy. I feel so sorry for him. You know, he's stuck with me here in the house. He's stuck with me at the office and all those things. So yeah, what else are you doing? What are you doing to keep your self occupied during this time? Bev, I saw that you were concerned about all the things that were going on over the weekend with all the protests and everything. And yeah, I think we all are quite concerned about that.
Yeah.
We want to remember to keep that whole situation in our prayers.
Yeah.
We don't really want to. I don't really want to go into it too much here today because I
Right.
figure you're seeing it everywhere else as I am. And so I don't want to spend really any time on that. I mean, I guess we could, but this has always tried to be a kind of uplifting thing, but we do acknowledge it, so we're not ignoring it, but we're trying to just provide a space also where we can talk about just other things and about our spiritual lives and what are we doing to keep ourselves connected to God and connected with one another during these very difficult times. So
If I'm allowed to say, I think just one thing about it is never forget the power of prayer, especially intercessory prayer.
Right.
We're that's the way we're built. We're made is to help others out, and that includes prayer, but especially praying for the souls of the deceased, especially for George Flynn. Because it is a tragedy that lives have been lost.
Yeah, good. Good to keep that in mind. So yeah. So tell me more. What else? What other hobbies and stuff do you have to do? What do you like to do? And what are your interests?
I like disc golf.
Oh yeah, we're talking about that.
Yeah, I was telling Father the other day I like it. I'm not very good at it, but it's just a really good way to get outside, especially if you have some friends that disc golf. It's also super cheap to get into because you can spend about $25 and you can actually disc golf. So that it's just one of the unique hobbies that super easy to get into. I mean, there's disc golf courses everywhere as well. So that's kind of another way of like learning about, kind of like a town you go to. Because they're all over the place. But
Well, and disc golf was kind of coming into form when I was in college,
right.
And I really enjoyed it. But back in my day, we didn't have disc golf courses. It was like, okay, hole number 1 is that tree. And so you just try to hit the tree.
Yeah, and that's actually what we did to kind of spend our time kind of towards the end of the semester out there in Denver, because obviously we don't have actual holes or baskets on our campus. But in Denver, our campus is decently sized, so some guys kind of made their own course, and there'd be like 8 of us, which is half of our spirituality year class, just going out and disc golfing, throwing discs at trees. So
right.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's good. And that's something that we did years ago. Gosh, long time ago. At Atchison, we played one afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
we took some time to play disc golf, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
going all over Benedictine College, throwing frisbees at trees.
Yes.
But it was good. I also loved Ultimate. Do you ever play Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah, that was another thing we did this past semester. I haven't played it a lot. I think only once actually, but it's a lot of running.
It is a lot of running. I mean, so Ultimate Frisbee, that's one of my favorite sports to play. I don't play it very often because it is exhausting. So the premise, it's a little bit like soccer or football kind of combined with a frisbee, and so you throw the frisbee and to your teammates, and you have to catch it, and you can't run with the frisbee. So once you get it, you have to
Right.
stop,
Right.
and then you try to throw it to the next person. And once that person gets it, that person has to stop. And so you're trying to throw little passes or long passes or whatever. And if you ever drop it, the possession automatically goes to the other team.
Yeah.
So you're running down that way, and then you miss it, and then they grab it and they throw it. It's just woof, woof,
Yes.
woof.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth.
It's a lot of back and forth, but boy, it's fun. So
Mhm.
those were some of my favorite times there in college and also in seminary. I played a little bit when I was a younger priest, and I played a little bit recently, but I'm not in the same shape that I used to be. So.
Yes.
But-
I feel that.
So you like frisbee golf and
Yes.
some ultimate frisbee. Anything
Yeah.
else that you like to do?
I really like watching movies. I know that's not a super productive hobby, but especially like classic movies.
And
Yeah.
what would you define as classic movies?
Oh, like the other week we were watching Casablanca.
Mhm.
Just things like that. 12 Angry Men. That's another good one.
Mhm.
Another good classic. We were talking about A Man for All Seasons the other day. Yeah.
I saw Casablanca thanks to some generous parishioners. I got to see Casablanca at the symphony, the
Oh,
Kingsley
really?
Symphony. They have this cool thing. Back when the symphony used to play, they would do movies, and so they'd show the movie, but then the symphony would play the soundtrack,
Mhm.
and that's the best way to see Casablanca. I mean,
Yeah.
and they did all kinds of things, like they did Star Wars, and I think they did Superman, Indiana Jones, whatever, which have these great scores, John
Mhm.
Williams scores or
Mhm.
whatever. But the cool thing about Casablanca is the recording was not, necessarily the best. So if you
Right.
were to rent it, you might not have the best sound quality listening to
Yeah.
the soundtrack there, but it was, obviously crystal clear sound.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to hear the fullness of what the music is supposed to
Yeah.
be for
Yeah,
a
for
classic
sure.
movie. So
Yeah.
that was really neat. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and it was I think kind of surprising movie. Just back when they released it, they just kind of expected it to be just another Hollywood film. Like they weren't like touting it as the greatest film even of the year, but it's just something about it became an instant classic. Really,
Right.
people loved it. And also for me, I always thought it was like one of those really long, like Lawrence of Arabia or Dr. Zhivago movies.
Sure.
Like 2.5, 3 hours long, but no, it's just a 90-minute film. Super concise story, but also good story too,
Right.
I think. But
Yeah, it's consistently in the top 5 movies of all time,
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
So yeah,
so yeah, it doesn't take very long to watch if you're interested or haven't seen it.
good,
So-
good. No, it was really good. I was very impressed, and just sometimes you forget some of the really good acting
Mhm.
that was
Yeah.
present there at the time.
Yeah. Mhm.
So there's always I think it's interesting is the transition for stage actors into film actors.
Mm.
And if you especially if you watch those early films, some actors hadn't quite gotten the
Mm.
transition. And I think that sometimes when you watch early films, you feel like you're watching an actor on a stage.
On a stage, yeah.
Because they have to be bigger and bolder and broader and more flamboyant and everything. Because
Right,
that's what you have to do on a stage so the people in the back row can see you.
Yeah.
But in subtlety in moving an eyebrow, you can't see that
Mhm.
on stage, but you
Mhm.
can see that on the film.
Yeah, and that's something I've noticed, kind of a difference in just the way movies are shot back then to now is like really, especially like the 40s and 50s. I think there's a huge focus on the face. Like you'll get just shots of people's face and their reaction,
Yeah.
and you don't see that very often. I don't think in movies, especially just television. You don't see that in television really at all. But
And maybe they were doing that possibly
Mhm.
also because they could.
yeah.
that tends to be the thing too. Is lots of things. Well, I mean, yeah, the arts always play into the novelty of the time,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, like for music in the 80s, all of a sudden there was this whole new palette they could play with. It was electronic music,
Yes.
and
yeah.
so the 80s became very much about
Right.
electronic music,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
but that's because it was never available. Now it was this whole new toy to play with. In the 90s and early and 2000s, computer animation, computer generated
Yeah.
stuff was all the rage. And so, like you watch the Star Wars prequels, they sometimes get criticized because they're
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
But again, it was a new toy to play with.
Yes, yeah.
And I think he was just George Lucas was trying to
Yeah.
to see what could be possible. Now some of
Yeah.
it hasn't aged very well, but
Yeah, but he certainly like paved the way for making films digitally. So.
right.
Yeah.
And so you see that, and then what happened is that there's an influx of this kind of thing,
Mhm.
and then it backs off.
Yeah.
And then it finds its proper place. So
Mhm.
like, I am grateful for the 80s for introducing all this electronic music, because then you can do nice combos of both acoustic and electronic
Mhm.
that has a nice equilibrium or
Yeah.
balance to it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, for
some of my
sure.
favorite music has has good balance of electric guitars, acoustic guitars, synth, organ, all those kinds of things working together. That's what I think is really beautiful. And now movies, they know better how to use computer generation and to use it with
Yes.
moderation and to really highlight things. But I was watching a little bit of that Dark Crystal series on Netflix.
Yeah.
I didn't get very far in it, and I might go back to it. But I loved the Dark Crystal movie as a kid, and they were talking about the making of it. And people also forget that Jim Henson was very big on computer generation. You know, I think he's the guy that did the Muppets and everything.
Right.
But back when the Jim Henson Hour came out in like the mid to late '80s, he was doing he had this character that was a computer generated puppet, which was really ahead of its time. He was really always pushing the envelope. And so this series on Netflix, the prequel series about Dark Crystal, was talking about how they do use computer generation. It's not all puppetry, but what they can really do that they couldn't do in the original movie from 1982
Mm-hmm.
is that they can really expand the backdrops
Yeah.
that you couldn't do, because if you're going to do that in a traditionally filmed movie, you have to build every piece of those sets. You still build some sets, but then you can really expand how big the camera angle can go, and you don't have to be so worried about I can only focus on this. You can say I want to see the bigger vista, which
Right.
I love. So,
Right. Absolutely.
yeah. So movies. Any other interest, hobbies, things? Does anyone have any questions for John? Go ahead and bring
Yes.
him on over.
Yes, please.
He's here. We've got the full attention on him here.
Great. You know,
This is his first time in the big chair. See.
yes. Beyond that, I don't have too much. I'm still trying to find my hobby, trying to find the thing that really resonates with me. I do a little bit of like furniture things. Just at home, we have a couple pieces of furniture that just could really use a new coat of stain, a new coat of varnish. So I've been working on those a little bit, but beyond that, nothing too crazy for me. But,
Excellent.
mm-hmm.
Very good. Yeah, and as I was saying, I didn't really discover my hobbies, if you will, those things I enjoy doing on a Monday or whatever, until well into my priesthood, because you're so focused on being a student and studying, and those are your things that take up your time. And then when you do have some free time outside that, then you have to kind of figure out what do I even do. But yeah, I discovered that I really like doing music, and so I usually say my two hobbies are music and board games.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
But I didn't play when I was graduated from seminary. When I was ordained, all I played was the guitar, and then I was in the band called the Priest Band, and so I joined the Priest Band because they had already been together for several years. But they were kind of the land of 1,000 guitars, so I decided I'm going to learn a new instrument. So I started taking on the mandolin. I just bought a mandolin one day and said I'm going to see if I can teach myself the mandolin, and so I learned some chords there. And then when I was in Sabetha, there was a. You're going there tomorrow?
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to Sabetha.
Are you going to the rectory?
Yeah, I think so.
Theoretically, there's a baby grand piano in the rectory.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think so.
And that was a gift from a parishioner. I don't know how many rectories have a baby grand piano in their rectories.
Right.
But when I moved there, I said, well, here's a piano here. It seems silly for me to have a piano in my house and not know how to play it. So I started taking lessons from this nice little old lady that lived on Highway 75. And I went there, I think every Tuesday I had my piano lesson.
Yeah.
I actually played in the recital and everything with all the fourth graders.
Oh, that's great.
Hello, my name is Father Kent, and I will be playing whatever I play. But yeah, I started taking piano lessons because there was a piano in the rectory, and I wanted to learn the piano. There was also I used to be on part of the vocation team for the seminarians because I used to be the chaplain at Bishop Miege High School, and I guess if we were a chaplain, we were automatically on the vocation team.
I see.
One of the things that we used to do back in the day was there was a retreat over Christmas time. I don't know if that still happens, but
Quo Vadis? Or are you thinking?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it wasn't for the seminarians; it was for those discerning. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But then several of the seminarians came. I think maybe that's not right.
Okay.
People who were discerning the seminary came to this little retreat on sometime after Christmas. And what I noticed, even in my first few years, is because I would do the music for the mass. But I noticed that there was this growing sense among the people that were discerning the seminary that they didn't really want guitar at mass. The sense was more moving towards classical and organ and stuff. Yeah. So that sense, that was back in about 2005, 2006. And I kind of felt that what I was offering was not what people were actually wanting or needing, and I was actually maybe doing more harm than good, if you will. No one ever said explicitly that please don't play your guitar, Father, but I kind of had that sense. So with that spirit then is, I want to serve, and what are the people responding to? So I wanted to learn a keyboard instrument, and with the eventual hope of maybe learning how to play the organ as well, so that I could offer those services instead of guitar for those that were wanting that. So that was just my experience there in the early 2000s or mid 2000s of there's this kind of movement to more traditional music. And here at Good Shepherd, we have a really good repertoire. It's very it's got a good breadth to it, but we lean contemporary. That's kind of a characteristic of our parish, which of course I feel very comfortable in that environment. But we do have a very wide breadth of music, but we do lean on the contemporary side, and I'm just fine with that. But there is, we should still just know at Good Shepherd that a lot of the people that are going into the seminary now are longing for something different and longing for more traditional, more classical. And that's just the way of the world. That's just the way of the sense, and that happens sometimes. I think with people have a longing for something before. People are buying records now. This nostalgic. I don't think it's necessarily nostalgia, but people are seeing what the value was in many of these styles of music and what that was offered that was kind of thrown away by some people. And I said, well, no, wait a minute here. There was some kind of beauty here. Let's bring some of that beauty back in. Let's leave the junk in the past, but maybe there is some beauty that maybe we tossed out, the baby with the bathwater kind of thing. So we should be aware of that, at least I think at Good Shepherd, that's kind of the sense of a lot of our young people. We sometimes think that the young people want contemporary music with drums and everything, and that's not always the case. And so we need to make sure that we are responding to what young people are really striving for. So there are people that are striving for those drums, but there's also people that are striving for that chant and that more classical sense.
Yeah, so. Absolutely.
But So. All right, there are not a whole lot of questions here today. They're kind of quiet on the chat today, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe people's fingers aren't working very well today. Maybe people are actually outside and enjoying the beautiful day today, which is good and which I'd recommend. Yes. I almost went on a bike ride this morning, but I ran out of time. Your clothes are done.
Yeah, Today is laundry day for me, so.
So yeah, I was gonna go on a bike ride this morning, but I just didn't get a chance to. But maybe I'll still get out a little bit today. Thanks to the Gasts for fixing up my bike that I've had sitting in the garage for basically a decade, and they've got it all tidied up, and I have taken it on a ride a little bit, but I'd like to really get back to biking again. That was really something I enjoyed doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Gasts yesterday they brought me some sweet treats, so thank you once again.
Very good.
It. Yes.
All right, well, I think... Okay, yes. Thanks, Sarah. Very good. What are your feelings about Taco Bell?
I love Taco Bell.
Okay.
Yes. I've heard that this has been a little bit of a point of contention on the Fireside Chat. So.
It has been Taco Tuesday, a couple of events. Yes.
Taco Bell fed me many times in college, so...
Yes. Well, Taco Bell fed me very many times in college, too. Back when I was in college, I loved Taco Bell, but... No.
And, well, and now they have the $5 box deal where you just get a ton of food for $5, and it's the best value in fast food industry right now. So.
Oh, and I think it always has been, because that was the case when I was like in high school and in college. Is like you get like 2 soft tacos for like 49 cents each or something like that.
Yeah.
So those were the days. Must be an under 30 thing. Yeah. Well, I mean. I don't know how to say this particularly delicately, but it's not always bad going in. It's sometimes a little bit bad coming out. So, so that's sometimes a problem that I have with Taco Bell. That I've had a few bad experiences that just say I don't need. I always feel that's a risk. I was like, okay,
yes.
I mean, if I have nothing else to do on the day, then maybe I could have some Taco Bell. But but that could be an area of concern. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have anything on the. I don't want to have anything on the schedule if I eat Taco Bell, because there's no telling whether I'll be able to show up.
Yes.
The said event.
Mm-hmm.
So so.
And when the said event is Mass in the evening, it's important that Father shows up. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I just don't usually. I just go right past that. But I used to love it growing up, and we used to buy because I would talk to my mom. I was like, oh, those Taco Bell tacos are so good. They're tasty. They got the flavor, and so we bought the Taco Bell seasoning sometimes and had made tacos at home. But yeah, I just. My stomach is not the same as it used to be. So, that might be an over 30 thing, Father. Yep. That's so
that's great.
Here we are. Yes, and both the guys I live with right now are not over 30, so they can have their Taco Bell as much as they want. But I had no problems when I had Taco Bell for a couple Tuesdays there. So maybe I can rediscover Taco Bell, but I also don't have a particular need to rediscover Taco Bell, because if I want tacos, at this point in my life, I want to get those street tacos, and I think those are better, and
yes,
those are delicious. I don't have any problems with those. So I think we're pretty much at our time. So thanks so much for joining us here today, and tune in tomorrow. You won't be with us tomorrow, right?
Correct. Okay, I'll be gone. I'll be in Sabetha.
That's right. So
driver's done again.
John, it does that every time. Okay. Yeah. So John, you're gonna kind of try to be gone on Wednesdays.
Yes.
We talked about.
Yeah,
right? So,
I think so.
So Father Ashmore will be gone on Tuesdays, and John will be gone on Wednesdays, and then I try to lay low a little bit after the Rosary on Mondays. So. All right, so that's pretty much it. So I will see you tomorrow, as will theoretically Father Ashmore back in the Ash chair, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Before we go, yes, John, check out the young adult Facebook page for Good Shepherd.
Okay.
Because you qualify.
I qualify. Okay.
You're a young adult. Yeah.
Good Shepherd. Okay.
I am not, but I'm the pastor, so I sometimes swing by, but I
absolutely.
do not qualify as a young adult. So. All right, well, have a good